This one hurts so bad. I've been rooting for this movie ever since I saw the first trailer. It has the wonderful Key Huy Quan in it, who's been making a comeback ever since he started Everything Everywhere All at Once. Basically being abandoned by Hollywood after starring in some movies in his childhood that people love. I love that this wonderful guy, who at least the way he presents himself is wonderful, is making this comeback and starring roles. And unfortunately, the movie just lets him down. Fortunately, he's one of the few bright spots in the film. Key Huy Quan is playing this character named Marvin, who is just this everyday guy who just wants to live an everyday life and is being pulled back into a mysterious past that he lived where he does not want to go back to. And I really like the premise that the movie sets up. Key Huy Quan as Marvin does everything he can with this thinly writ character to really bring a lot of charm and undeniable, lovable characteristics to his character, so you're able to root for them. And Key does an amazing job bringing a lot of his cheesy charm to this role, so it's easy for you to root for this guy on his journey as he has to deal with a bunch of different things that are coming from his past. And he does a great job with the action set pieces, not only being comedic and being very great in the emotional moments, but the action set pieces here are done in a way that are thrilling, and he does a good job of making me feel like Jackie Chan was in this movie. Not imitating him, but like that feeling that you have someone doing their own stunts, doing martial arts in a very precise way, kind of feeling like a dance, but also feeling like danger at the same time. Key Huy Quan nails it. Biggest issue this movie has is the movie doesn't dwell into much. The movie never tells you why he wanted out of life, how did he get into it in the first place, and what led him to really become this salesman that just does his everyday life thing. It's very thinly plotted in a way where it makes it hard for you to care about character motivations thoroughly. Actors are the ones that are shining through in the role and making you like the character. One of the biggest things that you want to do in a film is show, don't tell, but the movie keeps telling you over and over and over repeatedly how the character feels, what happens to the character, instead of actually showing it to you. So they keep telling you he's this terrible monster, but it's never shown and you never really believe it. The switch between this lovable salesman to a cold-blooded assassin doesn't feel earned. That's an issue throughout the whole film, the movie telling you and not showing you. Leads to so many moments that feel unearned, like him and his relationship with his brother. It's never really explored at all or given any backstory where you don't really have any real connection. They actually don't feel like brothers. Is the actor who's playing his brother is doing a good job doing little quirky things to make this character kind of stand out a little bit, but their relationship never is fully developed so that you feel that brotherly love and rivalry. His relationship with his love interest in this film, because this is supposed to be like a romantic action film right on time for Valentine's Day, is non-existent. And the character name is Rose, played by Ariana, who does her damnness to try to bring some quirkiness and charm and spunk to the movie, but the film doesn't do her any favors in terms of making her character super likable. And on top of that, unfortunately, Key and Ariana have no chemistry at all. The relationship is undercooked and their dynamic is severely missing. This movie gives you no reason for you to believe that these two love each other. At no point did I feel that connection that you want to feel in a romantic film for you to root for them to come together. The will they, won't they is just not there. The main premise of this movie is Rose stealing money from Knuckles, the mob boss, and if you steal money from the mob boss, you are killed. So Marvin, played by Key Huy Quan, who's in love with her, decides to take her out back and pretend to kill her so she can disappear and he can also get out of the mob. That's the main premise of this, with her coming back trying to retrieve her life and dragging Marvin back into this life that he really wants to put in the past. And the movie battling towards them going off, like facing this mob team. Other than him saying that he loves her so much, I didn't know why he even loved her. They didn't feel like a comparable match at all. And the fact that they didn't show their past to show how Marvin was in the past, maybe see how he matches her energy, which I didn't think he did at all. All I could think is that Ariana is beautiful in the film. That's the only thing I could think, and that was just super paper thin. Because I'm wondering in my head, how does this loving, caring, very empathetic character fall in love with this chaotic, thrill-seeking, a revenge-filled woman who's just out to make a name for herself and get back her life and ruin this organization. It just really didn't match really well, and they felt like two different characters in two different movies that should be in love with two different characters. And the tone of the movie doesn't help either. The movie is one of those films, one of those action films that has this heightened tone, this heightened reality where everyone is one note and is pushed to the extreme, which can be really, really fun in certain films if that's the focus. But this movie has some tonal whiplash where it comes from this fun, chaotic, like bright action movie, and then it tries to have these sentimental moments that just has this whiplash that doesn't really work. And these tonal shifts are not executed well, and it's highlighted by one of the protagonists or one of the supporting protagonists that's killed in this film. And the way they did the kill, the way it was built up was sentimental. It felt emotional, how it was supposed to be, and how it was supposed to be impactful in terms of how this character dies. But the execution of the death, the way they show the character dying, it felt comedic. So I was very conflicted. I'm like, am I supposed to be laughing at how this character died? But the way you set it up, I'm supposed to care about this, and it feels like this is a moment that's supposed to motivate everyone. It does that throughout multiple times. And the whole supporting cast is actually pretty good. They're actually great. I really like the characters here. Some of them are very memorable. The character Marshawn Lynch plays, he does a really great job. Once again, I think this is the third or fourth film or show that I've seen him in. He just brings really great comedic energy to every single thing I've seen him do, and I want to see him in more stuff. And Mustafa Shakir is another standout. He does a really great job as this poetic assassin that's sent to come after Marvin, and he toes the line of badassery and comedy in here. But unfortunately, a lot of the supporting characters have these subplots that are unnecessary and completely detract from the film. They try to make it really, really funny and have some like ongoing gags, but they don't fully land. While the movie plot is generic and not really written that well, and not all the comedy lands, the action delivers. Fun set pieces, wild stunts, and chaotic moments throughout. It was really enjoyable to watch and made this movie watchable, because everything else just felt too sloppy in terms of the characterizations and the way the movie was written. Luckily, these action set pieces they had throughout made the movie fun, and the movie was moving so fast towards the finale. The finale action set piece is really, really good, so it makes it worth it at least towards the end to watch. But I don't think this movie is a complete disaster. I think it will definitely have its fans, and the movie also is very breezy at 80 minutes. It does not overstay its welcome. I just think the film was a big letdown because it had a lot of potential with so many charismatic actors. The comedy was written better and the plot was written in a competent way. This could have been a great film, but unfortunately it's just a huge letdown. Not a film that I can recommend anyone to go to the theaters to watch, especially go run to watch. If you have AMC A-List or Regal Unlimited and you want to see a movie this weekend, you definitely can go in here and enjoy it. You'll get a couple chuckles and you'll like some of the action set pieces and characters. But for me, if you're paying hard cold cash, especially if you live in a big city and it's like $25 for a ticket, definitely wait for this for streaming so you can multitask while you're watching it, because the movie doesn't demand your attention, unfortunately. So with that said, I'm gonna give Love Hurts, and this hurts me to give it this grade, a D. Question of the day is, what is your favorite Valentine's Day film? Drop your answers down below and let me know, and you can watch more content right now.